Ahead and go live. Let's go ahead and go live. Yo, what's up? As you know by the handle, I'm Joey. Joey's me. And this is the 37th edition of what we're going to call and will always call Hustle and Smoke. So, what's up, people? I see we got two people in the building already. We got my guest Jackie Groves in the back. Hey man, she enjoying life. We just gonna have her come through and spit some knowledge, man. Listen, I said it a little, and if you read the description, I said it. It's literally my pleasure, man, to be able to tap in with just the people I've had on the show, people that I've met on the back end of networking. And when I get to have people like Jackie Groves, people like 2 weeks ago we saw Backpack Girls up in here. These are people that I'm not gonna lie to you. Circa 2 years ago, I ain't know from a hole in the wall. But because I started this great platform, we growing at every step. We trying to do better. We trying to reach out to everybody. So now, like I said, man, now we got Jackie on the list. I like to kind of think of these episodes like a big list of just the dopest entrepreneurs I've personally ran into. And we gonna carry on that tradition, man. We gonna get a little candid on this one though. I want to ask Jackie I don't want to say introspective, but I'm gonna ask her some questions though. You know what I mean? And of course we're gonna take some dabs. I got my little Dr. Dabber switch on deck with the is that Jackie Groves on the sticker? Got the Jackie Groves sticker pop. Look, man, come on, man. Let me stop talking about Jackie Groves and let me go ahead and let Jackie Groves talk about Jackie Groves. So without further ado, let's bring the young lady in, Miss Jackie.
Hello, hello, hello. Thank you so much, Joey, for the opportunity. I am so grateful to have a space on your platform, Hustle and Smoke. I first want to congratulate you. I think you're doing great things by giving us growers, bakers, and people of this cannabis industry a safe space for us to come out here and voice our opinion and voice our journey and allow us to interact with more people from this cannabis community. I believe that this plant brings us together in so many ways. And this is one of them, being able to talk about my experience and also being able to learn from what you've learned from the last 36 guests that you've had here on Hustle and Smoke. So it's an honor. My name is Jackie Groves. I'm a third generation Cuban grower, born and raised in Miami, Florida, migrated 1,500 miles from the city that I was raised in to Michigan to pursue my dreams legally in this cannabis industry. I've been active, hands-on for the past 11 years, growing this beautiful plant. I pheno hunt all my strains from seed to flower to basically be able to find the best medicine that works for me, and by doing that I've been able to bless a lot of people throughout my journey, by being able to heal them with my medicine, and I'm so grateful for this plant. It's taught me a lot. Thank you for I appreciate you, and I want to thank Backpack Girls for giving me the opportunity to connect with you and referring me to you. Without that referral, this wouldn't make possible. So I want to thank them as well. Thank you guys so much.
Yes. I mean, man, I like to take a second to thank Backpack Girls as well because I'll
Yeah.
tell you what, it was real dope tapping in with them, man. Real dope, humble people. Hey, listen, I know people in the building that's gonna be in the building that saw that episode, and I'll tell you what, it was special. And like I alluded to when the episode dropped, it's like it's just an honor to be able to even provide that space, man. Because I know, you hear of like little apps coming out that is like a social media for pot, and that's dope. That's real dope. But I don't.
What is it called?
No, I don't. I actually don't know.
Because I've heard of it. I think it's like a, in my own version, I would call it like a weed gram, like an Instagram for weed, which is dope as hell. But it's like,
it's just it ain't hitting like what it would if spaces like this was normalized, where we could
it
sit
ain't
down.
hitting like MySpace did.
Oh, no doubt
If
it
they
is.
ain't gonna give me, if they ain't give me the option to edit my layout and put whatever song I want when you come to my MySpace, I don't want to be on it.
I'm just saying, and hey, I remember them days, man. We went hard for them backgrounds. We went hard to make sure that
We
that
were
top.
hard as hell. We had our top 10 or our top five, fave fives or some
Oh
shit like
yes,
that.
no, yes, yes, yes. Oh man.
And when a
Hey,
bitch would cross you, you ain't on my top five no more, ho. Bah! Take her out.
now we got close friends on Instagram, allegedly.
Yeah, now we got. Honestly, I've never done a close friends.
I ain't gonna lie, I ain't do it either.
I'm such an open book that I'm like, fuck it. People are gonna know what's going on anyways. Here you go.
Nah, honestly, I can empathize with that because I do find myself being more of that person than the latter these days, especially. But
you know,
go
it's
ahead.
okay. It's okay to be open, but you gotta know where and what space to be open in. That's why I'm
Yeah,
open, but I keep
yeah.
my page private.
Plus, there's a bunch of weirdos lurking around, lurking about, trying to ruin people's shit. So that's probably another reason too.
Yeah. It's that negative energy that we want to stay away from.
So let's go ahead and actually start it up there. So my first question to you, Miss Jackie Groves, is how has your journey been? I know because I know people will know too real soon, so get ready for that. But I know that you use social media as a tool, heavy. How has your journey been? Because I'm not gonna lie, as far back as yesterday or this morning, one of the two, um, Burner had posted how they were trying to flag his vibes page, and
I love
it's
vibe papers. I'm
interesting.
smoking vibe papers right now.
Hey man, hey. Honestly, I do too. I ain't gonna lie. Hey, if y'all could pick yourselves up some vibes, hey, this is for free, by the way.
Vibes are fire.
Pick
I,
yourself up
I
some vibes.
support vibes.
But what I wanted to get at is hearing Burner speak on that is like, how is the person that is kind of one of the biggest names in cannabis still being flagged content wise in any front? So, can you tell me a little about your personal journey doing the
So
giving through the social media?
I am on my 27th fucking Instagram page. I've been deleted a billion times. I'm not Burner, nowhere near on the status of Burner. I'm Burner. No, I'm kidding. But I'm nowhere near like Burner. God willing, he can put me in a position and I can bless other people to be around me. And, maybe one day. So I'm going to speak it into existence. But it just kind of makes me think of it in a different aspect. Before, I used to think, oh, I have a bunch of fucking haters. There's a bunch of people this. There's a bunch of people that. But I honestly have come to the conclusion that it's definitely has to do with an algorithm. There's definitely has to be some social media bots that pick up on certain things, and automatically it gets flagged because I hate to believe that there is human beings out there, and I'm talking about if Burner is getting put down and he has millions of followers, let's say 10% of those people are reporting him. 10% of a million people sitting at their house doing nothing but
100,000.
reporting someone out of pure hatred or because they dislike what that person is doing or because they don't agree with cannabis, which there's a lot of people who still don't agree with cannabis, believe it or not. 2022, there's people who still don't fucking like weed, but will fucking smoke a pack of cigarettes a day. So I don't get it. It gives me a
Or
headache.
hey. Let's not even say that. They'll partake in some of the most ungodliest of things behind
Unhealthy things. Fuck that.
unhealthy,
The
ungodly,
most unhealthy things, and they sit there and judge something that is grown with soil and water, with dirt and water, literally.
And what people don't understand, real quickly, is people is living off of it. It's not like somebody is
How many jobs has in cannabis opened for people to live a better lives, to stay at home more with their families, to have more time, which is not true, because when you're a grower, there it's like you live,
it just
shit, breathe,
depends.
and eat
It,
plants. But once you get to a certain level, and you've got things on a perpetual basis, and things do get easier, and eventually you do start to reap the benefits of, the fruits of your labor. And back to the question that you were saying, how is it, how have I dealt with something like that, is I just never give up. I know that what I do heals people. I know that what I do is good for people. I'm not selling, other I'm not going to say the word because I don't want to get flagged, but
no, no, no.
other narcotics or other drugs that are harmful for somebody. I'm selling a natural organic flower medicine. And if I'm going to give up on that, then I'm just giving up on what I believe in. So, like I said, hopefully one day I get to burner status where I'm sure if burner gets deleted, he can get all his following back in a
Hey,
second,
hey,
because people
before,
people believe in his journey and his story. you
man,
know I'm not gonna tell you I personally enjoy his flower. Maybe I haven't had the real deal burnership, but like I think it's just a overhyped, or maybe they've got into such mass
man,
production that the quality isn't the same. I'm not sure. I don't like to talk shit about people, but I don't personally enjoy their flower. I enjoy more small batch, uh, grown on a smaller scale. I believe that when you grow on a smaller scale, you have more, you can give your plant more attention, and they thrive more off the hand to pot interaction.
and
But
real quickly,
once you start growing, it's inevitable. You have to eventually put your grows on a automatic feeding, because your manpower is not capable of watering 24,000 plants. It's every plant is not going to get the attention and need that it should. So, cannabis,
so
there's
with that,
so much, so
real
it's
quickly, I just want to throw this in here. I personally never, I've smoked some of Burner stuff. I personally don't have an opinion. I do agree, to a certain extent that it mass production does play a part in, like you said, the plants don't get as much as maybe they could or should. But I
I
personally
want
look.
to emphasize though one thing. I don't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry, but I honestly am a firm believer that maybe I've never had the real deal burner shit. So maybe like the
Hey,
shit,
Burner, I'm at a thing.
maybe it's somebody who says it is that, but I've never, so I don't want what I've tried that has been claimed that has not been good for me. But who knows if I'm really smoking the real deal.
And whoa, and that's really man. So I want to get a little bit into that. So, and not even speaking on Burner, just in general, when you're giving something, and hey, this is apple fritter, right? You don't know that. I'm giving it to you. And you smoke it, you take in the effects and everything, and it's not. What is a situation like that look for you in? Is that like make it or break it, as for like I might not be able to, like, do you take something like that, like, oh, that's a person's word right there, as good as their
Well,
word?
as a consumer, well, first, being in this industry my whole fucking life, as a consumer, it's just based out of respect. Now, your word to me isn't as valuable as it was when before you lied to me. So, as a
Okay.
consumer, now I know that I cannot trust you, and you're not going to be honest, and you're not going to be straightforward with me. So am I going to waste my hardworking funds on something that might be apple fritter or that might be Mac one or that, and as a grower, I think that your face card is the number one thing in this industry. If you do good business will come to you. And what I mean by business, I mean by donations or patient-to-patient interactions where they're benefiting from this. And don't get me wrong, I have to feed my family. So I'm sure there's people who repack. Ciérrame la puerta que no, el perro no para de ladrar. So I'm sure
Ooh,
that.
and she's Spanish, people. Oh yeah, she said that. I forgot. Go ahead, sis. Go ahead.
Espérate, estoy en un interview. Estoy en un.
You good? You need a sec,
So,
Jack?
what?
You need a sec?
Yeah, give me 1 second.
Nah,
Estoy
you
en
good.
una
You good.
entrevista, okay? So, like that patient interaction, if that person doesn't trust you, why are they going to come back to you? So you're ruining a relationship that can be long lasting and that you both can be reaping benefits from. But by being, you know, dishonest, now
Mm-hmm.
you've ruined that relationship because somebody who's knowledgeable and somebody who knows about cannabis and knows about crosses and researches and is a flavor hunter like me will know just by smelling it. And like you start to see cannabis so much, and you remember as a grower we dial into our plants. So once we
Right.
pheno hunt them and we find the best keeper, now we're gonna grow this plant about 5 to 6 harvests to see the ultimate results that it can give us. And that's what we call the dial in process. So the first harvest is going to be much more different than the sixth or seventh harvest, because now you've learned what your plant likes, how much it intakes, if it needs more water, if they drink more, if what kind of temperatures do they thrive off of, you know what level of the lighting do they thrive. Every strain is different.
Like there's a
So
whole wait, hold up. You're saying, wow, that it gets that specific down to the
absolutely,
angle
it's a
of the
science
light?
experiment. It's a science
Okay.
experiment. I tell people all the time, like, the number one reason why I love what I do is because you always see a different outcome. And a lot of people fail at their careers, okay, and fail at what they do because it's a repetitive cycle. And as humans, that after we're not robots. We weren't created to do the same shit every fucking day. Like,
And get the
that's
same
not what
exact result.
humanity was created for. Humanity was created for us to live life and experience different things. And cannabis is a never ending experience. Like, it's a never you can grow it, you can extract it, you can bake it, you can cook with it, you can put lotion, you can make a bath bomb. There is so many different ways to consume this magical plant that it's never ending.
And Jackie, let me let you in on a little, and the people as well. Let me let y'all in on a little secret. This apple fritter, let me tell you, has me hungry than a motherfucker.
Uh,
Yeah. I'm like, hold up. I'm like, I need to put in a Uber Eats order in the
One
middle of
second.
the day. I'm like, man, yo, what is going on here? I'm like, man, this apple fritter kind of crazy. Hey, listen, there's a reason I mentioned apple fritter though. Jackie grows apple fritter. Hey, and Jackie didn't pay me to promote this, but she didn't have to though. Feel me? But some of these other companies I'm gonna mention, y'all gonna have to pay me one day, and y'all going to pay me one day. But this apple fritter though, my peoples, I'm telling you,
Thank you. I'm sorry. I had to.
I'm
My
a,
kids
I'm,
were getting out of hand out
I'm gonna
there.
stare at the goddamn refrigerator later on. Thanks a lot, Jackie.
You're very welcome. I'm so happy you enjoyed the apple fritter.
And
It makes me really happy because I hear so many different feedbacks. I grow so many different strains as I'm trying to find, the best phenols out of every batch. There's so many different flavor profiles that I send out to people, you know, and when they enjoy different things and it's not always the same thing, it makes me know that what I'm doing is right.
And yes, and honestly, I could attest to it. Working from the storefront end, I kind of pride myself on the experience end of it and tailoring it to the individual in front of me, as opposed to, I know that this is the top shelf over here. It might behoove me to sell that. Now I'm thinking about, like, man, anything. It could be like, hey, is there a range you want to stay within? Because we got good prices all over the place, man. So next thing you know, it's like, okay, I'm not, it's not a question of how much bread do you have in your pocket. It's like, okay, it's a more friendly, like, okay, let me make sure I direct you the right way. Because if you're showing somebody something you know they ain't got no business buying, because it's good for the business, it's impure. You know what I mean?
Why are you gonna hurt their feelings? Like, you know, they
Yes,
can't afford it.
yes, and that's a real nuanced point, because I don't think people think about it, because it's another thing that's just programmed. It's ingrained, like, oh, you gotta smoke this.
This
You
is
know,
apple
rappers,
fritter too.
oh Lord, oh my Lord.
It's just
You know
fire.
what? You know what? You give me a second, man. You are very, 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 very inspirational this evening. Because man, I'm gonna go ahead and you know, like I said, Jackie grows, man. Man, come on, baby, we got this.
That's
We
apple
got.
fritter too.
Oh man. So that's the funny thing, is that I really found myself liking this a lot, like a lot, and like, I have about 6 grams in the fridge. This is like my this is just the rosin though,
So you
and
keep your terps cold?
oh,
That's
absolutely.
dope.
Oh, you need to
Yeah, you're preserving its flavor and its shelf life.
there you go. Look, you see, hey, YouTube, Jackie Grows is gonna lace us today. She gonna lace me too. Because believe me, somewhere around the way, I got my notebook, my pen pad, my little apple on the desk, my little
You
daiquiri.
know, and I just
You
want
know
to
what I mean?
say, like, a lot of people always tell me um that they love my conversation because they always learn something, and that's why I seek knowledge so much. And you know, another thing that I wanted to say is that when you love what you do, you're always finding new ways of perfectionizing that. Like, there's never ending. It's never a failure. It's always trial and error, and you're gonna mess up in order to succeed, you
Now,
know.
would
so
go ahead. I'm
so
sorry.
being knowledgeable and knowing, you know, the proper terminology, and you know, researching and learning, allowing to learn from other people too. Like, I learn from you as well, believe it or not, you know. And it
Okay,
in many ways. And if you can take something from everybody that you encounter, then I feel like you're living life right.
yes, and I will double down and say that you are absolutely right in that last part, because I've definitely, especially the older I get, believe it or not, I ain't too old, but I'm getting older, and I'm just noticing that a lot of the things that even I thought could have been like a thinking point, or something that I know, is like, yo, I didn't know a goddamn thing the whole time. And it's like, sometimes, you get lost in the confidence in yourself, and I've definitely been a prisoner to that. So I'm gonna double down and say that I agree with you on that one. But I'm gonna also say that to go back on this thing though, I, I you know, so how do you get crumble versus batter? Because this right here is more of like a crumble type of consistency.
So I believe that it's because of the colder temperature, maybe. Um, the science of it, I won't be able to tell you because I don't
Okay.
perfectionize the concentrate aspect. I'm all about the growing aspect. I put it I put it in the freezer, and you know, somebody extracts it for me. So I don't want to take credit for something that
Right.
I didn't make. I just made the flower aspect of it. The way it was cultivated and extracted was by a professional extractor. So I believe that maybe he just gets colder temperatures, and that's why it's more of a batter, which I personally don't like that consistency. I like more of an oily, greasy consistency.
So wait, so you saying sauce or more like a fresh press?
No, it's still like, it's still, it still has its crumble effects to it, but you can see that it's like buttery, you know, and
Right.
it
Okay.
has.
Yeah. No, go ahead. It's just a real good point. Let me see if I understand what you. So,
And rosin making is like a form of art, like
so
that.
like that.
I
No,
like stuff like that. What is that?
this is Mendo Kush Breath by Funky
Mendo what?
Mendo Kush Breath.
Mendo Kush breath. That's fire. So I like that kind of consistency, and I also like that color. It's like a blonde color.
Real quick. We got M's Healing Goods in the building. Hold up. You sincerely inspire me, Jackie.
Yeah.
Man, how heartfelt is that? Hey, sister.
Oh.
Hey, Miss Emily. There's a spot for you on Hustle and Smoke if you ever want to talk. That's all I'm gonna say. Um, wow, I was actually pretty shocked by that. That's what's up. Thank you for bringing your people around, Jackie. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. And I'm so grateful for my people coming out here and supporting me. I love you guys. Thank you for watching me. I hope you guys are enjoying, this live stream. Many people will know I don't go on live much. I'm always working, always hustling, always on the move, trying to figure out my next move. And on top of that, juggling being a full-time mom as well. So
Shout
I
out to
enjoy I enjoy these moments where I can show face, be myself, and interact with my people. And I love you guys, and I'm grateful.
with that being said, my mom's is in the building. She's usually literally the first person in the building.
Oh,
Uh
shout out to your mom.
moms is showing all type of love and shit. But
Yeah,
so
she
the thing
wants to
is,
make sure that you're safe, buddy.
I think what she wants is for me to stop cussing on some of these lives.
No
But
hables así.
no,
Lávate la boca.
oh Lord, hey, listen, don't tell her to say that. She gonna tell me that. She gonna call me right after the man. I swear to God, one time, and I tell this story all the time. The very first time, she was like, you have all these topics and you got decent conversations, but do you have to curse so much? And it's like, God, it was like one of
You're
those,
right. She's
it's
right.
like I'm looking at my ID and I'm like, hold up, mama, like I done
But it
moved
looks,
to
to be
but
honest with you, one of my New Year's resolutions always has been to stop cursing. It's just so fucking hard. Like, it's just so hard.
it's so easy, it's easy to say and do. It's like,
Yeah.
first, go ahead, let your hair down,
But
It's
we
one of
would look so much better and so much more professional if we did it.
you see, that's up for debate. You know what I mean? That's
That's
up.
a Hispanic way of thinking.
Oh yes, exactly. I will say you are right on that one.
That's what it
But
is.
so you to go back. You spoke on trial and error. Um, by the way, we got more people in the building. We got
I
um.
can't see
I'm
the
not going to
people that
lie.
are in, so tell
We
me who's here.
we got some it looks like some Russian writing, so we might have some people from like Russia or something like that.
Oh,
Yo,
what's up, Russia?
shout out to that, man. We got Sarah Duff in the building.
Oh,
Ooh,
Dabbing Duff. That's my girl. Shout out to
what's
her.
up?
Follow her, guys. She's awesome.
Yes. Hey, listen. I will say that like I said, it's an honor because in the end of the day, I was just some kid from New York, just 2 years ago, living in mom's crib, and I couldn't even imagine that or fandom that I could have been where I'm at now. And we starting the journey. We just starting the journey. So imagine like where the room to grow is at. That's what I'm
That's
saying.
right. That's right.
Yeah,
And
um,
the greatest form of marketing is word of mouth. So everybody that's on here, make sure you let people know about our pages, what we have to offer, and
Yeah,
vice
yes.
versa. Humans were created to help one another, and if we can help each other reach our final goal and reach our final, you know,
Why not? You know
why
what I mean?
not? Why not?
Not
Obviously, only in the position where you can, and if you
yeah, of
can,
course.
and if you can't, that's okay too.
Listen, honestly, I'm of the school of support is support, love is love. So
That's right.
if you're gonna give it, it's gonna be received as love. But if you're gonna give it, trying to give it as something else, that's what it's gonna be received as too. You understand what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
yeah, just wanted to go up on that little tangent, but let's get back to it. So you spoke on trial and error. So what would you say is the biggest trial and error type situation that you run into um in the beginning and now?
As an, are you asking as a grower?
Yes, absolutely. So as a grower, what would you say is trial and error situations that you had when you started as opposed to trial and error situations that you'll have
Oh my god, I could
today?
write a book about fuck ups, but um,
Let's narrow
so
it
so the biggest trial and error has been, finding what works for me. I've had to go through a couple different nutrient lines, just because I don't grow for quantity, I grow for flavor. And my
down.
outcome, I'm a pothead. You get me? Like, I want to smoke good shit. I want to smoke really good shit. So trying to find out what works best for me. And by fucking up, like, one time I grew a bunch of Cali connection seeds, and they are very prone to herming. If you don't know what that terminology is, it's basically when your plant gets seeds. And I thought I had the most fire weed in the world, and when I went to go trim it, or not even, already at the end of flower, I started seeing seed pockets. And
Damn.
just because I always grew from clone, I never really grew from seed like that. Like, I grew from clone, so
Okay.
you don't really deal with that type of stuff. But when you're trying new things, you sometimes you waste your money, you waste your light money, because you have to pay for the light bill that gave you the seeded stuff. You lose your, your water bill money, and you lose the nutrients. But you learn that you need to do more research, you need to be more knowledgeable. And if I don't fuck up, and if I don't lose a whole harvest to seeds, because nobody wants to smoke seeds, you know so if I don't fuck up and I don't lose that harvest, how do I learn that these seeds are prone to this? Like, I had to go through that in order to learn it, and it's basically part of the process. And it's taking things with a grain of salt, and allowing these experiences to make you more knowledgeable, where you can find these errors before they even arise. And that's what experience does. Experience allows you to learn the plant and really learn, by fucking up, honestly. Sometimes you cut too much of the bottom, or sometimes you defoliate too much, which is deleafing the plant, and you shock the plant. And now the plant is wilting on you when 3 days ago the plant was thriving. But you have to learn what works for you in order for you to learn how to fucking grow. You can, anybody can tell you this is what you have to do, but until you physically do it, and you're there hands on,
That's a
um
whole different ballgame.
that's a whole different ball game. And you learn differently when you're in the process and in the moment.
So we actually got a question from Miss Emily. Do you have any suggestions for drying and curing techniques? Jack.
Absolutely. So, I suggest for you to dry your whole plant. Don't break it down. Make sure that you dry the whole entire plant. This allows all the chemicals and all the things that were in the root bound to release itself throughout the drying process. And you should always dry in a dark room. Um, Usually a colder temperature, and for 14 days, dry for 14 days. slowly but surely. And then after that, immediately jar your weed and burp your jars. Use glass jars and make sure you burp your jars so that there isn't any humidity condensation in your jars, and your jars don't um create mold or anything like that. So burping your jars is a process of you releasing the air from the jar every so often. You want to cure your cannabis, your flower material for about 42 days. That's when it's going to be at its prime flavor. A lot of times financially, people need to speed up the process because, bills don't wait for shit to dry and bills, but when you get to a point where you don't need to do those things, make sure you do the process correctly, because that's where the curing process is the most crucial process. It's where you're going to create all your, well, not create, but it's where you're going to preserve all your flavors.
Wow, that was so informational. I felt like I just read the almanac, literally. Let me tell you that much, Jackie. Good fucking shit. There's something to be said for penmanship and just knowing what the fuck you're talking about. Because a lot of people are talking these days, and a lot of people don't know what they're talking about. But I could tell that just look, all I gotta do is visit your Instagram. Hey, I tap my
And I wish you could see, like, I have lost so much because I've gotten different phones, but man, I used to have pictures in the grow room with my grandma, my 80-year-old grandma, and like, I used to have like cool ass pictures that I wish I could retrieve and that are just so memorable. I have some, like, I have a picture of me 9 months pregnant at the Cannabis Cup 8 years ago. So, like, that's a really, big memory for me. Um,
So Jackie
because
made it to the cannabis cup? Let me find
I
out.
went to Cannabis Cup 8 months pregnant, dude.
Man,
And I didn't
that's an
smoke
animal
weed
for
throughout,
you people.
and I
People,
didn't
this is an
smoke weed
animal
throughout
right
my,
here.
I didn't smoke throughout my pregnancy. I lost my first child, so I never smoked because I had a trauma that something was gonna happen. I'm not
Mhm.
against people. People have their own views on whether they should smoke while they're pregnant or not. I support anybody in their decision. I just personally didn't do it because I didn't want to feel any um I guess if anything ever happened to my child, I didn't want to feel accountable for it, So I always did everything, naturally, no cannabis, nothing like that. But I still supported, and I still went out there 8 months pregnant, swollen as fuck. I still did what I had to do. And I believe that speaks volume, because when you believe in something, whether you do it or not, or whether you take a break from it, which when I have been pregnant has been the only 3 times. I have 20% battery. I just want to let you know. It's only been the 3 times that I've ever stopped smoking weed. Has been when I.
Do you want me to give you a few seconds to maybe get to a charger?
Yeah, I'm gonna go get a
You can do
charger.
that. Go ahead. I
Okay,
got you.
good. I want to make sure.
Just just
Yeah.
just make a hand motion at the camera when you're ready, so I can bring you back in.
Okay, I got you. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, man. As y'all can see, we have a real jam-packed episode. And as you could also see, I got my Oregon State little pillows, cushions, whatever the fuck decorations. Shouts out to moms, because moms knew to give me that. And I actually, it's crazy because hey, I just recently found out that one Chad Ochocinco went to Oregon State. So shouts out to my boy Chad Ochocinco, man. That man is a man, he's that dude, man. Shouts out to you, brother. Um we got Sarah Duff tapping in. Hey man, I'm telling you, people, it's insane. Like sometimes I can't even wrap my mind around it. Like you know, it's amazing what cannabis really allows you to do, man. It's so much room to grow within the industry. People is pioneering shit left and right. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, Emily, shouts out to Chad Ochocinco, man. And then shouts out to Joey too. Yeah, let's go. Listen, like I said, it's just crazy. I do hope to continue to grow the platform, of course. 37 episodes in. One day we're gonna say 100. Who knows? One day we might say 200. Let's get it. But have you tried the stuffed French toast? Miss Duff, I actually have not had the pleasure of trying the stuffed French toast. But I'll tell you what though. One of these days I will get that pleasure and I will have a very nice opinion on it. We got man. Yeah, listen, that Jackie Grows weed, man. It's excuse me. I think maybe I should take a dab though, right? I think maybe I should show y'all how the Dr. Dabba switch works. Because Yabba Dabba do. Yes. Yes, Lord. So I actually had to buy a replacement little I had to buy a replacement percolator because the one that came with the device actually fell to an unfortunate demise, death, whatever. The glass cracked, okay? So we had to get a new one. I got this nice little side percolator joint. It's not nothing too crazy, but it was something to go ahead and replacement. These glass pieces are fucking Lord Jesus. Yeah, you paid I paid a little bit, but we're here. We got this well, I'm gonna say allegedly because it wasn't labeled as, but I have been informed by Jackie Grows herself that this is apple fritter hash rosin. So what I thought to do is take a little dabski of it because we got Jackie Grows in the building. We got some of the peoples that love Jackie Grows in the building. And we just we gotta hit it one time for the one time. You know what I mean? And plus, it gave me a nice chance to go ahead and preview this for the YouTube people, right? Oh, we got Jackie back in the building, but so it'll give me a chance real quick, Miss Jackie. I was having a conversation with the peoples. AD conversation. See you now. Let me stop. But now we got this apple fritter that I'm about to get ready to take a little dabski out of. But when this guy come out, what time it is.
Fire! Enjoy. That's
Lord
up. Cheers.
Lord knows. Hey, listen. You really can't see the comment section though, Jackie, because
I can't see nothing. None of the comments. What's going on? Oh shit! Yeah, here they are. Never mind. I've never been on one of these things.
Go ahead. Look at the comments. Sis, they loving you.
You inspire me, Jackie, from Emily.
Oh shit!
Thank you so much, Emily.
That was only
Duff, I love you. I love you too. Best female grower I know. Thank you so much. Do you have any suggestions for drying? Yeah, we answered that question. I hope that was informative for you.
So just to update the people, I'm slipping the little cup in there.
This is dope.
And then we're going to go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and do the presentation for everybody in the building now. Everybody's in the class. We're going to hold this one like this.
Enjoy.
This nice little carb cap right here. And we're just going to press this nice little button. Up. Yep. And as you see, it's doing the thing. It's doing the thing. It's going to change colors. So it's going to get green once it's ready. It's breaking down. Steam is coming up. And
I love that thing. What the hell? That's super cool.
Once it's ready to hit, though, we're going to go ahead and wait for it to change that one color.
Oh, I want one of those.
Ooh, yes, Lord. Okay. Any day now, Dr. Denver. Oh, here we go. Now we take our little rip.
That's dope as hell. Here, I have another lighter.
Church
This
Cool.
is the
This
mimosa,
is
right?
Church Cool. Woo.
That's stuff French toast.
Who can guess how much there is in the jar?
Woo. Lord Jesus. So I'm gonna have y'all know that this is my, I want to say I ripped it once yesterday. This is my second rip of it. And I will tell you guys that the terpenes in this dab right here is off the fucking charts.
Woo!
Um, Flavorful than a mother flower, no pun intended. Um, Real smooth on the intake. I only called because I kind of took a glob. I don't usually do those, but Jackie Groves, we had to do it. So, and I will say, once terps, my lord, I'm still like it's like right in the tongue. Like I'm like,
That's fire. That's fire.
wow, like almost mouth puckering.
I'm gonna have to send you some of my other favorite terps from different extraction artists that I love. Like one of my favorite, um, he's not in the business anymore, but he used to do like a lot of fruity banana flavors. And thank you so much. His shit was so fire. Um, I like a lot the Dogman Troop. That's pretty fire too. He does like live rosin, cold cure. Um, he does red pop, which is a really indica dominant. That's pretty fire. I'm a Death Star fan. It's indica dominant too. That's pretty fire.
So right now we got real quick. So it seems like we got guesses. We got a Chris saying it's a half a P. We got Emily saying 12 ounces. We got Sarah Duff saying it's a whole pound. Um, Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think
Sheesh.
yes, red pop is excellent. We're Gouda berry for the second round. It's amazing. Yeah, I'm a gassy lover, but I really enjoy the Gouda berry and I enjoy the red pop a lot. And the red pop has gas. So it's actually more close to half a pound. So Chris was right. There's about half a pound in here.
Lord. And dare I ask, is that personal?
Of course.
Jackie? God damn.
We smoke. That's just one
You
jar. I
see,
have like 8 jars
I'm
of
a little scared
personal.
of you. You see, now I'm a little scared because I'm like, do you want to see what my little personals is? I got little, you know what I mean? I got a
Bro,
little,
listen, I remember the days.
you know what I'm saying?
Okay. I remember the days. This is nothing, dude. Like I have like 18 more jars like this. Just in this, like I have a lot of flavors. The guys, it's because the market is
I'm like, hey,
oversaturated.
I better get a good price, Miss Jackie.
The market is oversaturated. I rather smoke it all than give it for free.
Nah, I feel you. I feel you.
No, but I do. No, no lie,
No,
no
no,
lie.
hey, speak your mind, sis.
I
Speak
do
your
a
mind.
lot. I do a lot of giveaways. I do a lot of
Listen,
giveaways,
I
which
watched I watched real quickly. I watched that you've been posting the videos of like your little goodie bags, bruh. It looks like you put way too much in there.
well, those goodie bags are not free. People pay for those samples, but
I'm sure I would too.
because they get a good price for a variety of my flavors. So, if you know me, you know that a lot of times I don't like to break things down because it just takes me a lot longer to see my profits. But now that things are changing, I'm creating my own brand and I don't have to depend on other people. So breaking it down and allowing people to get a variety of my strains is allowing people to have different flavors, and people don't want to smoke one strain, they want to have flavors. It's like a kid in a candy store. When they go into a dispensary, a lot of people support dispensaries because they have such a wide variety of things. So I'm trying to create my own online um, donation network where people can
Nice.
come and get free medicine by donation.
That's fucking fire. Oh my goodness. Honestly, I like those talks because it's a seed. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes like just 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 like how people say, you might not want to mention certain things around people because they're gonna ruin it. The same is true the other way around though. Like actually mention every now and then saying some shit might be like, okay, cool. Like she's serious. Who knows? Somebody might watch this 2 weeks from now, is a big investor. They're like, oh shit, I gotta look up Jackie Groves now.
I'm waiting for you
So
guys.
it's like,
Come.
listen, it's just insane when you think about like how big something gets and like exactly what was done. It's like nobody speaks on what was done, but look, you have a lifetime just about of stories to tell when that time comes, and I'm sure you'll be able to tell it. All I'm saying is, I just want a little discount when that time comes around. I don't
Boy,
know.
you gonna get good. You're gonna get goodie
I'm
bags. I
paying.
got you.
I
I
just want a
got
little
you. I got
discount.
you. Don't worry that
Hey,
I
hey,
that
you,
I
you know I'm
already.
Dominican. You know I'm Dominican. I gotta get my points off, man. I gotta get my
Oh,
points off. I can't.
don't worry.
No puedo. No hay money. No hay money. No.
I'm going to make sure that you get a monthly care package.
Oh shit. Hey, listen, Jackie. Don't make me blush, okay? Don't make me blush. But I want to ask you though, on the real
I
note,
just want you to shout me out and tell your people you love my stuff. Of course, if you honestly do.
man. Come on, man. Listen, we'll talk about that, Jackie. But I want to ask you though, real quickly. What are some obstacles you run into, or what are man, what's the ladder? The ladder. What ladder of an obstacle do you run into when you go to different places? Like when you venture outside of Michigan and you do business outside. Like any specific like uh troubles, not troubles. Like what are some things that you notice when you go
Okay, so
and
when you're venturing out to different states,
venturing? There you go.
yeah, when you're venturing out to different states, and you're talking about this magical plant, you run into a lot of people who are not very knowledgeable with what good quality and poor quality is. A lot of times they have been programmed to what they have access to, which
Hey, one
is
question. Jackie, please hold that down. Let me ask you this one question. Is the white ash thing a myth or not? Let's debunk it now. Is it a myth or not?
so. I've done many experiments because this is something that's talked about at my trimming table all the time. Okay. I believe I believe it is a myth, but my flower always comes out white. So I don't know. But I have smoked stuff that doesn't burn white that has given me the medicinal benefits. So,
What do you think? Go nah. I'll ask you after because you were in the middle of a thought. I just wanted to debunk that.
but now that you brought me to the subject, scientifically,
Yes.
what it is that the ash thing is the process of flushing out the chemicals in your weed. So if you don't grow organically and you grow with, like, for example, heavy salts, um your medium is going to retain those salts a lot more. And if you don't flush for a long period of time, you're going to taste that harsh taste in your cannabis. So
Mm.
it's more about not speeding up the process and doing things correctly, and also like scientifically there's a lot more to it, like reading the ppms that come out of your drip, and basically knowing what you have to do to create clean medicine.
Mm.
And if you know how to grow, you know how to reach those results. And it's just a process, and it's a process of knowledge. 10 years ago I didn't know that.
Man, and now, so with that being said, right? because I used when I was promoting the episode, I was using a phrase that I actually came up with, believe it or not. Growing against the grain, right?
That's cool. I like that.
So the reason I'm gonna tell you a little bit about why I kind of coined that for this is because I feel like cannabis in general has been a bit of a something like a path, kind of like how people say that um and demographic wise, young African American gentleman is bound to be either a rapper or a ball player because of yada yada yada, right? I think cannabis has been something like that for us as Hispanic immigrants or immigrant descent. But
Because
no,
not to
Brooks,
not go ahead, go ahead. Not to cut you off, but the reason why is because Hispanics are always looked as the drug dealers. So I feel like it's just more of like a label versus
no doubt. So that believe me, I'm getting to the point here. I promise. So we're saying that, right? It's been that. So you being who you are, Cuban descent, from the motherland, right?
yes.
What what is that? How do you receive me coining that? Like growing against the grain, because we know that yes,
What
the Hispanics are known as the drug dealers, the coke dealers,
So
the
I will tell you this, as
right.
somebody who has personally lived this, um, we are, what's the word that I want to use? A minority in this
Yes,
industry.
yes, in
And
some sense.
believe it or not, the white man is always given the higher position, whether there is lack of knowledge or not. Okay. And they will feed from the Hispanic man or Hispanic woman. They will soak up that knowledge and drain it into the white man and keep the white man at a higher position, even though the Hispanic or the immigrant, because it can be black. I'm not saying like only black people are immigrants, but it can be black people, it can be Indian people, it can be all types of minorities, okay, that are always suppressed from these better cannabis positions, even though we have grown against the grain, even though we've had gone through trial and error, even though we have learned the hard way. you know Experience is something that can be taught. So they'll utilize us and won't pay us what we're worth. And we're always kept in these, in lower positions. And it's the reality. And until we don't create our own way and we don't create, something like Burner did. Okay, perfect example. He's Hispanic. If I'm not mistaken, is he?
Mexican.
Mexican, yeah. So he's Mexican and he grew against the grain in his mama's basement or garage or whatever. I know he says it in a song,
And now
but
his mama, ooh, that mama's cooking is cooking real good now, boy. Hey, listen, shouts out to Burner, man. I,
yeah.
I don't, I hate the notion that, not, I don't want to say hate, maybe that's too strong, but I think about the notion that because cookies, the enterprise is what it's becoming and it's global, people tend to forget that Burner has a mission of his own, and he still does. Like he actively, like you and Burner are kind of one and one in the promotion department. Everything you guys post is about your business, and it's like when you think about that, it's like, man, like you know it hits different. It's like this man is not Nike. I was saying it. I was telling Backpack Girls last episode. Like you think of let's talk Detroit. Let's talk Michigan. If we let's set the clocks back, right? We had GM, we had Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, whatever, right? Now you look at what Detroit is. It's a renaissance over there, and you know what that renaissance is? Fucking cannabis. And it's like Harrison Ford is somewhere rolling in his fucking grave right now. If he would have known that cannabis was gonna come in and motherfucking take over and no more GM, like imagine cannabis being the reason Detroit comes back. Like, and obviously, I say that because unfortunately, I I believe what I see on the TV in that aspect because I haven't been to Detroit myself. But the Renaissance is here. And it's like you think about it, and it's like, man, Harrison Ford is rolling in his grave, man. GM rolling in their graves. GM ain't doing what they doing in Detroit no more. They don't even make GM cars in America no more, allegedly. Come on, man. Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me?
You know what?
But do you ever think about that though? That how
But
big
but
to become
listen
where
to
you
what
guys
you're
are at?
saying. We were just talking about being minorities. Who are they giving this work to? Minorities. Why? Because we accept the cheaper price. We accept for them to pay us $1 versus $100 because we are hungry and we are starving and we need to just feed our family. So the white man, believe it or not, takes these businesses to these countries or to different countries, okay, and now they profit off of these businesses.
We're gonna give Jackie a second or two. It looked like her little connection was tweaking or whatever. But hey, join in the hey, my boy Bernie L in the hey Bernie, we need to get you on this, man. We need to get you on Hustle and Smoke, bro. You a real dope brother, man. Hey man, shouts out to hey man, shouts out to Bernie L.
Thank you guys all for tuning in. I want to go back to the chat because somebody said there, um, Jackie, what do you typically use to bake your treats with? Do you stick to concentrates to infuse or medicate? So I use a wide variety of things to medicate my desserts with, my baked goods, my exotic treats. I use distillate, I use live rosin. The majority of it is concentrates, but I also use butter for many things.
Did you say
So
concentrates? Hold up, I think I need to take another Dabski.
yeah.
Go ahead, Jackie. I'm sorry, I had to.
No, no, you're fine. So yeah, the majority of the things is concentrate.
So
But I
what's the
do dip.
difference? Jackie, can you explain the difference between baking with concentrates and the latter? I forgot what it was you said. I think you said
Butter. So you
extracts.
can bake, you can do many things. You can do butter, you can do oil. I also have like an infused vegetable oil that I infuse with live rosin and I cook with. So you can cook with a majority of things um and it just basically you want to make sure that you can blend in and not taste any cannabis. Like that's the point of making good edibles is that you don't really taste cannabis. And that's why concentrates are primarily used in edibles because you can decarbonate your concentrates and there won't be any flavor from that. Versus the butter, you can really taste the cannabis profile if you don't do it correctly. You can also make coconut oil out of cannabis and cook with coconut oil. So there is like a wide variety of things that you can cook with.
Oh, hold up. So now my question to you is what is kind of like this, is there like a subtle difference in using one thing versus another? Like can you explain a little bit on that? Because this is
So
this is me personally, because I actually I tried to infuse some shrimp recently and I honestly don't know if I did it right. So I'm gonna listen to you and then I'll tell you what I did and you kind of guide
so
me
what
from
did
there.
you make it with?
So
What
typically I had some RSO and I had syrup, basically a tincture. And what I did was I had marinated it first, then did like two droppers of the tincture, Then I let it sit in the fridge. You know, you marinate it for 20 minutes. It's shrimp, so you ain't need to marinate it for too long. So you took it out. I took it out. Two more drops, and then I did another, a little bit more seasoning, just to and then I mixed it in. So once I started cooking, I put the regular oil, and then that's when I added like two droppers on the RSO into the oil, and then I cooked everything like that.
So did you cook at a high heat?
Not really, because it was shrimp. So
Okay.
you didn't want to kill it. You know what I mean?
So what could have happened is the main thing I always focus on is fire in, fire out. Does the RSO work for you without cooking with it?
And that's the thing. I'm honest. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't have much experience with RSO. I just had it.
RSO is really strong.
Yes, and that's why I show it respect. You know, hey, I'm not advocating for it as medicine, but I'll tell you what. There's people with cancer right now that stopped their chemotherapy and picked up that RSO needle. So I will tell you what. Oh, syringe. Sorry, syringe. Let me be on. Let me be correct. Syringe. So I'll tell you what. That RSO shit is nothing to play with. But like I said, I had a little bit on hand, so I was like, yo, why not? Try something different. You might have some company over. Okay, let me try a little different. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, what could I have done better? And yada yada from
In
you.
the process. So basically you might have not dosed it properly. It depends. What's the full dosage of the
So,
full,
so for
like,
the for the
is it
tincture,
100 milligrams the whole RSO tincture? A
so the
thousand?
so the syrup tincture I had at that time was 250. The RSO, I honestly couldn't tell you. I draw a blank on the RSO because I don't, like I said, I don't really deal with it much, so I don't even
So that's
know.
another factor of being able, because if it doesn't do the medicinal effects, like if you put it, for example, what is it that, how much how much do you consume in order to feel it? Like 50 milligrams, 100 milligrams?
Less than 50.
What is it that you could,
50.
how much can you consume?
Typically in a setting, less than 50 for sure.
Less than 50? Oh,
Yes,
then
ma'am.
that should have maybe done the deal. Did you cook with like a sauce?
So hold up. No. What I did was I used Old Bay. I used some shrimp rinds, and then I also used, of course, paprika and garlic. In that order. Garlic.
Hey, Jackie, you just got this delivered to you here. From
Sheesh. Oh, God damn. By the way, shout out to Miss Sarah Duff. I did see your comment. Your husband's a vet. Shout out to him. Thank you for your service, Mr. Duff. Um, so as I was saying, God damn. So the difference is going back. So what again is the subtle differences in like different using the butter versus the RSO versus the tincture?
So it always goes back to taste. So different things are going to give you different taste. You're going to be able to taste more of the cannabis in it. And if you can hide that taste better, um, it's going to be better for consumption. You're going to be able to eat it better. A lot of people don't like to taste the cannabis in it.
Oh shit, add me to that fucking demographic because I'll tell you what, that aftertaste shit is no good. And that's why, yo, real quick, shouts out to Backpack Girl Edibles. Because I swear to God, there's no aftertaste. Like at all.
Yeah, it's
Like
really good. The edibles are all.
what? Shouts out to them.
Yes.
But and so now my question to you is you spoke on how people exploit the minorities. I was actually reading a real dope story today on I don't know if you know Sean Kemp. He played ball. He's a Hall of Fame NBA basketball player. Um, he played for the Seattle Supersonics. Now he has his own, well, allegedly his own um, dispensary in Seattle. So I was reading the story on how they had these two brothers. They were brothers, not blood brothers though. These two brothers, and they wanted to start their own operation or whatever. And these guys must have put in 10 different fucking applications, application after application. As I read the article, it was just like each one was like this application failed because of this, or they said this time that we didn't have this right, or this time they said that we forgot a deadline. So what I want to ask you is, do you see where it's like it's like a certain marginalization where there's a barricade of sort for maybe what your vision could be in the future?
What did you say? I'm sorry, I
So,
couldn't hear you.
yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Okay. So, what was the last thing you heard?
I heard something about marginalization and like
Marginalized. Do you think it's a certain marginalization where it's like the minority is like there's barricades there, like but as it pertains to your vision though, for whatever you have for your company, like do you see yourself going through some of the rigors of what that marginalization could be?
absolutely. I think as a I have a little bit more of an advantage as an American, even though my grandparents are, from a third world country.
Right.
I was born here and I was given the opportunity that they didn't have. So I need to kind of like, even though I know that we are marginalized in that aspect, I need to break those barriers and I need to make sure that I don't settle for what, you know, my grandparents would have settled for because, we're seen as minorities. A lot of times, we don't go after what we want to go after because we see how so many of us have failed, but we can always be that 1% that succeeds for everybody else. And that is what's important.
So would you say that that's something of a like philosophy that you hold on and try to uphold within you to try to
Absolutely.
like keep you going?
Absolutely. And that goes back to like never giving up and not allowing those trials and tribulations and all the times that I have failed to overcome what I know I am capable of, which is breaking those barriers and not being part of that marginalization percentile, and being, part of the minorities that have a voice for everyone else, and
Man.
I pride myself in being versatile to be able to stand out and have a voice for people because whether people want to connect with me because of my medicated pizza business or my medicated cake business, there's so many avenues of connection that, my resources are unlimited and that's
Hey,
why.
real quickly, I don't know if you guys heard that or caught that, but Jackie also, on top of every motherfucking thing she mentioned today, she has a pizza business and a cake business as well. And you know that pizza and that cake comes with the cake. No, allegedly. Happy
everything is
Jackie,
medicated. Everything
Jackie.
is medicated for happiness.
Yes, Lord. Make sure y'all tap in, man. That's fucking insane, Jackie. That's fucking insane.
Thank you. And once again, I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to get on here and share what I
Oh,
do with
hold
people.
up.
And
So I just have two more questions.
Yeah.
So one, we could still say it's the New Year's, the first month of the year.
Uh-huh.
What is a goal of yours that you have for your um, operation? Sorry, excuse me.
Yeah. So my goal is to travel to more states, and take my pop-ups to more states, and being able to, you know, virtual and virtually connecting with people is beautiful, but there's nothing like that human to human
Wait,
interaction.
hold up. I'm getting a lot of the like wind in the background.
Okay, do you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, so like
Yeah, you're going off again.
I want to be able to connect with these people that support me face to face, and build more connections because, when one person comes, they're going to bring their cousin, their brother, their sister, and, you get to reach more people, and share your passion for this plant and share your journey and what works for you, which can work for somebody else.
Dope. And hey, listen, I will be one. I'll be, if nobody's told you it, I will be the one to tell you that I'm sure that you are not only well equipped, but you're just a hop, step, and a jump away. So keep at it, Jackie. What I want to do now, remember, I told you he's gonna shift. He's gonna have the shift.
Yeah.
So we go simmer down a little on this one. Like I was explaining to you before the show started, I did a lot of reflecting today. I did a lot of thinking about just what the world is right now, fucking even my direction, all of that. What I want to ask you is how do you weather that? So the storm of those days where you're looking at it and you're like, shit, what what am I gonna do? And now I want to aim this as it pertains to your business, of course. So
So
how do you
what
weather
I
those storms?
what I would say, it's all about your mindset. It's all about the state of mind that you're in. If you continue to tell yourself you're going to fail, the outcome will be that you fail. If you tell yourself you're going to win, that you're going to succeed, and that you're going to accomplish everything that you desire, nine times out of 10, the universe is going to put things in your way to make those things happen. You can be the biggest dreamer in the world, but if you don't take action, and you don't create a plan for yourself, you're always going to be misguided. And I believe that that's how I that's how I basically tell myself that no matter what gloomy day or no, because we all, as a human being, we all have, low vibrational days where our mental health is not intact,
Hmm.
because we've allowed, the trials of the world, everything that's happening, to affect us, and it's part of the programming. I believe it's part of the fact that we society is so used to living in fear that we don't see the positive things of everything. Nothing, everything in life happens for a reason. And that's something that I tell myself on my dark days or the days where I don't feel like getting up or achieving anything. I tell myself everything happens for a reason. I need to find the reason why I'm going through this. I need to find the reason why I'm feeling like this, so that way I can create an action plan and I can do something to change it. Because if I sit there and dwell in my misery, or I dwell in the fact that I feel like the world is coming down on us, I'm not creating a better state of mind or a better environment for myself. And that is the hardest thing for us to do as humans, is change the way we think. It's change in that little moment. You feel like there is no way out, and you have to be powerful enough to know that if you've been through it before, you've been through hard times, you've been through dark days, like, what is different today? It's just the way you're thinking about it.
Wow, that was absolutely fucking mic droppable. I will say, that I will double down and say that I do as well experience those days. I think that with the pressures of the world, not only are we almost constantly told to push our feelings aside, but we're also navigating through this thing called life. And like, we have the COVID, we have the work schedules, we have the family to take care of. And it's like all of these things, I thank God every day that I don't have a family at this moment, because it's like, not that if I have to do it, hey, if it's the will of God, we're gonna have to do it then. But what I'm saying is, getting to that point, it's like, man, like, you gotta be right. And like, it's days where I know goddamn well I'm not trying to speak to people. I'm just trying to chill. I'm just trying to vibe. I'm just trying to whatever. And like, in my personal, I could say that it brings about an aura where it's like, oh, Joey isn't the same entertainer room, boom boom bap type dude right now. What's going on? Let's see what's going on. You know what I mean? And it's like, that in itself is a pressure. It's like you got to be the life of the room now, boy, because the day you not, they're not gonna want you in that room. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like I'll tell you what, Jackie, I will be saving that bite, that sound bite, that whole thing you said. I will be saving it, and I will be playing it back on those days for me, because in the end of the day, like it speaks volume to hear people that go through the same exact things you go through, whether it's from your lens or mine. It's like, yeah, you might not have to clock in, but you clocking into your shit though. And hopefully I can say the same thing one day, but we're all going through it. And like, I'm gonna save that.
As
You
humans,
can go ahead now.
as humans, we
Yeah.
need to understand that everybody is good
Yeah,
in their own way. You hear me?
yeah. Go ahead, go ahead.
As humans, we need to understand that everybody goes through it in their own way. And what I've learned is that when people, um, we're not feeling the vibe, it's never you, it's always them. And if people care enough, they're going to inquire on why you're not the same. And nobody's perfect. If we believe that everybody's going to be happy and joe golly 24/7 365 days a year, that's not normal. What drug are you on? Because I need to take it because that's not normal.
Right.
You get me? Like, that humanity is meant to go through days, because those are the days on the dark. Flowers grow in the dark, and then you bloom. So
Mhm.
we grow through our trials and our errors.
So another thing I'm gonna say is one of the very first things you said on this episode, which I appreciate, because I'll tell you what, I have always said, and I speak this platform into existence just as you did when we started. And it's real dope that you were, because I don't know, sometimes with our 37 episodes, it might not be something that I've done multiple times, where it's like, you know, maybe it was Backpack Girls, but let's talk about 2 people ago. Maybe they weren't cannabis users, but they were entrepreneurs in their own right. They were hustlers in their own right. And they came through and we spoke and we had a good conversation. And like, even though people will see that and be like, oh, what's the direction? This is very much a cannabis enthusiast fucking platform. And like I said, I'm gonna save that, and that's that I'm gonna actually post that as soon as we drop, because I need people to know that this is what that is. And if you look at the descriptions and all of that, I promise you, I'm not the best at it. I'm gonna get better. That's gonna be a growing process, but I tailor it for the stoner community first. So thank you so much for breaking that down. Is that because, like I said, nobody's done it yet, and that's literally my platform. Because any one of these episodes we could pull up, I'm saying something cannabis. I'm speaking on my experience. I'm speaking with people, cannabis. So thank you so much for that. What I want to say lastly is, do you have anything to say lastly for the people? Because I
Yeah.
you got to do your mom thing, and we approaching an hour and a half, and I think the kids might want their mama back. So I'm
Yeah,
a
I definitely have to make sure they get into bed for school tomorrow. So
oh, yes, mom. Go ahead and tell the people what you have to say.
I just wanted to finish this off by saying,
I just wanted to finish this time, or this hour and a half off, by saying thank you to everyone for tuning in, for all the people that came out here, showed me love, showed me support. I'm very grateful for you guys interacting and participating. It means a lot to me. And thank you, Joy, for giving me a safe space to come and share my journey, because this is what this is all about. This is my life. This is what I know. I love cannabis, and I plan to go very far in this industry. And thank you for giving me a space to be able to share that with other people, to maybe follow me. If you have Instagram, my Instagram is Jackie Grows 777. I own Michigan Medicated Pizza. I own Medicated Cakes. I own Plates by the Pound, which is an infused Caribbean hot plate service. So
Oh, do you
please,
believe that?
yes.
Okay, we gonna talk. We gonna talk. Go ahead.
Yes. So I believe in this plan. I believe that there's multiple ways of consuming it. You don't have to bore yourself out by rolling up a joint. We all know that sometimes we get lazy as stoners. We don't want to roll up. We don't, we just want to get stoned. And I'm creating a safe environment. I do private medicinal dinners. Coming up February 19th, I'll be in Detroit hosting a private medicated Valentine's dinner. This dinner is going to have a three-course meal, appetizer, entree, and dessert with can of cocktails by reservation only. So follow me for more details. And Joey, go ahead. Thank you, and I hope you guys have a good night.
Yes, I'll tap in on the back end, Jackie. Thank you so much.
Bye.
All right. Yeah, I definitely took another dab of that apple fritter. But yeah, my last thoughts. Thank you so much to everybody that pulled up. Hey, Sarah Duff, Dab and Duff on Instagram. We're gonna tap in, sister. Emily Holdren, shouts out to you, sister. I'm following you as well, Miss M. Man, plug your IG on the comments against this. I know it's M Heels good M Goods Heels. Hey, listen, I'm a little stoned. Okay, be nice to me. We gonna tap in though, sister. Everybody else, Bernie L, thank you so much. Moms, always thank you, moms, for being the first in the building all the time. I don't know if you're still here, moms, but I'm gonna call you in a second or two, mom. You know I love you. But shouts out to everybody else. Like I said, man, I wanted to shift it over because there we go. Hold up. We got M's Healing Goods. Yes. Tap in with both of them sisters, Dab and Duff. I think there's an underscore in the middle. And then in the end, tap in with her. Hey, like I said, tap in with the whole network. Because this is what it is. We're gonna do that. But what I wanted to say is I wanted to shift it because, like I said, I was thinking a lot today. I was using my noggin, and I was thinking a lot about a lot of shit. And like, we just need to make it a case to do better across the board. And that's really my soliloquy with that. But other than that, we will absolutely see y'all. Hopefully, I kind of like the every other week model better. Oh man, hold up. Ooh, Andrew Wiggins made an all-star team. Let's go, Andrew Wiggins. Hold up. That's what's up, man. Anyway, like I'm excuse me. Goddamn. I do like the every other week. I'm gonna try to go back to every week. We just work with me, people. We gonna keep growing. This ain't the end. This ain't the beginning. We just gonna keep going. So shout out to all of y'all once again. Come to next week's shows though, man, because this is the show. Or not next show. Come to the next show, and then the next show, and then the next show, and then we'll all grow. Tap in with me on Instagram as well. As you know by the handle, I am Joey.com. Joey is me, or rather, Joey.com is me. And this is the 37th episode of Hustle and Smoke. Thank you so much. Peace. Ah.